Okay, and you are now in the How to Use the MBC Mobile App video. We are assuming at this point you have already watched or have already installed the MBC Mobile App on your mobile device. If you haven't done that yet, I'd recommend that you go ahead and follow that video real quick and download the app from your App Store for your particular device. Once installed and you finish that video, you should be left right here at the main page of the MBC Mobile App. As you can see, the main page is the media page. We assume that the vast majority of users will want to use the app to listen to sermons, so we've made it the first page on the app so it's easily accessible. This same media player, by the way, is also accessible on the website, so you don't have to have the app to stream sermons over the internet, but this just makes it very simple to do it right with your mobile app. And we'll go into greater detail on how to use the media player shortly. First thing I want to cover, though, real quick is how to set up your notifications. As I alluded to in the install video, it is our desire to use the notification system within the app as a way to get timely information out to the congregation about events and other things that are going on in the church. So, it is our recommendation that you allow notifications when you install the app. But then you're going to want to go in and configure your notifications so you're getting notifications on the things that most interest you, the ministries and the activities that are going on. So to do that, you're going to want to bring down the menu, which is in the top left. You see those three bars up in the top left right here. You want to click on that or tap on that. And then you can see that you have a settings tab or settings option. So you click on settings, and one of the options in there is notifications. So click on notifications. Now, by default, when you enable notifications at the installation, the general notifications will be enabled. This is basically our general congregational notification. So when we want to send out a notification to everyone, we would be sending it to the general list. So we ask that, if nothing else, that you just leave that one default enabled so that we can get information out to you as a member of Middletown Bible Church. However, notice that we also have 4 other general notification notification categories available: the missions-minded, tech team, youth group, and the RGM team. That's the ones we have now. We're open to suggestions if you believe that there is another group that would be potentially useful here. Missions-minded, really, we kind of figure that would be for folks who are maybe on the missions team, or who want to be made aware of whatever kind of activities and upcoming events are being done through the mission side. Tech team, pretty self-explanatory. If you're on the audiovisual side, you might join that notification category. If you're a member of the youth group, this we figured would be a great way for us to make sure that the youth are on the same page for youth group activities. And of course, the RGM team, again, just a great way to remind folks, hey, we got RGM coming up this week or whatever, if you have the app installed and are signed up on that group. Okay, so you have full control over your notifications, and to turn them on or off, you just simply tap the switch and you'll kick all those notifications on. Okay, all right, so I'm going to hit the back arrow at the top left to go back. All right, and then I'm going to hit the menu again to go back to the MBC Mobile App. Okay, so there's our main page. Now, I have already made another video on how to use the giving portion of the app, and it goes into detail on how to sign up for the online giving, how to set up your credit card or bank information, and how to set up scheduled giving or one-time giving as you see fit. But you'll notice that also in the main menu there is a link to the giving aspect of the app. So you can get to the giving from here, and then of course reference the giving video, which will be linked from the website as part of the launch, that you can then follow to sign up for online giving. Online giving is a very handy, helpful way, especially if you know you're going to be out of town one Sunday and want to make sure that your giving is done, you can go ahead and just set that giving right remotely, right in the app. It's very handy. I'm told that Dustin's already taken advantage of it because he won't be there this Sunday. So that's available to you in the app. There's a few other places where you can access the giving. One of those places is in the About. If I tap the About section here, you can see that Give is one of the options there, as well as our link to our church website and a little bit about what to expect. And this is for folks who may not be so familiar with their church, but wants to follow our sermons and follow our activities online. Okay? All right, so back to the media page. So one of the key features of the app is the media feature, and the media feature is also echoed on our website. So if you don't have the app, can't install the app for some reason, don't let that stop you from streaming the video or streaming the media. You can see that the media is in two separate categories: sermons by Pastor Doug and then other speakers. So to fundamentally use the media player, you simply just drill down into the section that you're interested in, and you'll see that we have sermons all the way up to the latest one, Jesus Loves Legalist, here on November 13th, 2016. You can select any of them that you wish. Shutting the Door to Heaven is one of them. You'll see the information on the sermon. Now, on the screen, there's a few things to look at. Notice that you have a Listen button that if you tap on that, it will stream it live from the internet. So in order to use the Listen feature through the app, you need to have an active link to the internet. Now, if you think that you might want to listen to this while you're offline, maybe while you're driving, up here in Lake County, obviously, you don't always have good cell coverage when you're driving, but if you want to be able to listen to the sermons while you're driving, I would encourage you to use the download link, which is on the right. That would be this guy right here. And when you tap that, notice you saw it kind of jump up to the top right-hand corner of the screen. So what it's doing right now is it's basically downloading this sermon in the background. So to access that sermon later, when you come to the app, from just about anywhere in the app, you have the ability to tap up in the top right-hand side. You'll see those looks like audio bars up in the top right-hand side. I'm going to tap on that now. When I click on that, it will show me, I can slide back and forth. Okay, it will show me, if I have anything that it's download that I would have in the middle of playing, which I do not. Or I can swipe to the left, and it will show me anything that I have downloaded. So any sermons that have been downloaded will be available in this play screen. See, I can swipe, I can go back and forth between them. So by simply tapping on the sermon,
open your Bibles with me
this morning
to the
and as I swipe right,
chapter of Matthew's
now I
Gospel.
can see the
We're looking
sermon
at
that I'm
Jesus'
playing.
last.
And of course from here I can pause and play. I can forward 15 seconds, reverse 15 seconds. And then notice in the player here on the right, I also have the three dots. They give me the ability to if I have multiple sermons and I want to listen to them at random, I can shuffle them, or I can even repeat a sermon so it comes back. But then notice it also has share. The share feature is a very cool feature. This is one of the primary drivers for having the app, because if you have if you've been listening to a sermon that has something that you think would be very relevant for somebody else, you can share the sermon, and you can share it with any of your other applications via email or message, however you want, and it will send an app link to that person. Now, individuals don't have to have the app to listen to shared content, because as I said, the same player is available on the web, so the link will work as a web link if somebody gets it. They don't want to install the app. So that just becomes a really helpful way for you to be able to share audio content for folks outside the church who may or may not want to install the app. Okay, so keep an eye out for that share icon, that box with an up arrow on it, because that little share icon shows up in all kinds of places throughout the app and allows you to share content that we have, and that is one of the biggest reasons why we want the app. As Pastor Doug begins to fill in his Pastor Desk blog, as we begin to put more and more resources in the app, those things can be shared with folks either inside or outside the church as you see fit. Okay, so that's the fundamental use of the player. As you can see, I can kind of swipe back and forth. If I had other videos, I can click on them. And then once you're done with those videos, if you'd like to clear space, or those audio files, you want to clear space on your phone, just hold down on it, and you get another menu here where you can click the trash can or tap the trash can to delete that audio content. And now you can see I have no more downloaded content. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and hit back now to go back to the sermons list. Okay. Now some of the sermons may or may not be all of them, may or may not have a notes button. And if I click on the notes button, it will bring up, likely, it may even bring up the full sermon, like this one has the full sermon posted for your ability to read and follow along. So this is a fantastic feature of the app, that we can post content associated with the sermons, and you have the ability then to pull that content up and read it, download it, share it, etc. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go back. All right. So look for that in the sermons. It might be very helpful for you, especially if you would rather review some of that during your own study time, and may not be in a good place where you can listen. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go back now. So that's basically the way that the player works. It's quite simple. And again, just the two things to remember is, am I going to have an active internet connection where I can stream it live, or do I need to download that sermon to listen to while I'm offline? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go back now to the main page. All right, so back to the main page now. Don't notice that down along the bottom you have some icons. The first one is media. That's where we're at now. The second one is PD's desk. Okay, so Pastor Doug's desk. This is his Pastor Doug's blog. Currently, there's really only, I think there's only one article in there right now. Okay, well, he's got two. There we go. He's got two things. You can see very timely information. This is a really great way for Pastor Doug to just communicate thoughts and resources directly from himself to users of the app. And you can see that those things show up with a quick preview, and then you can just tap on the article to view the full article. Okay, and that article is viewable right within the app. Okay, so very easy there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go back. So definitely check back on this periodically to see any new content that Pastor Doug has posted that might be relevant to your walk and your spiritual growth. All right, coming in here to resources now. The resources tab, this is also an area where you will see more and more content be added as we go, but there's some pretty good resources in here now, including some links to outside content, outside partner sites, content that we feel as a leadership group is helpful to you in your spiritual growth. Grace to You is a great place to go. John MacArthur has a lot of his sermons throughout the last 30 years or so posted there as well. So we've included some links to that, some other online content that would be helpful for you. We also have online articles. These are a few blogs. These two are some of the blogs that Pastor Doug's daughters are part of. Rachel's article that she wrote, and a few others. And so obviously these articles will continue to expand as more and more content kind of comes up and is added. We have some specific MBC resources. So this is just basically internal resources. Our website, PD's desk, recommended reading. That's the recommended reading list that Pastor Doug has put out in the past. There's a lot of great book recommendations in that list. If you're a heavy reader, then I definitely recommend you check that out. But I want to draw your attention to the MBC Calendar Online. This is a new feature that we're adding, and this will also be available with a link from our website where you can actually view this calendar. This is a calendar view of the events that we're publishing in the app. You can see it's using Google Calendar. But this is a really, really cool way for you to see kind of what's coming up. And you can see it displays right in the phone. And you can actually use this calendar. We're going to begin to start publishing, any of the church and school activities, so that you can see what the calendar looks like from a planning standpoint. So if you're planning an activity, our goal is to make this calendar pretty much reflect the real calendar of the church property, so that you are able to see, hey, we want to try to schedule an event on a particular day. You would be able to reference this calendar to see if anything is already scheduled, and give you a pretty good idea of what days might be available for your activity or your event. But you can also use this as a resource to get more information about currently scheduled events. So here we have Redwood Gospel Mission, right? So I can tap on that, and here you can see that there's information on the Redwood Gospel Mission Ministry for our church. So this is just a great way to use the app. And notice that you have the ability down in the bottom to copy to my calendar, right? So any of the events that are on this calendar, if you keep a digital calendar, you can actually tap on that to have these events added right to your calendar. So if it's something that you want to have in your personal calendar, so you can set reminders and all the rest of it, just drop it around in your own calendar. You can also share these calendar events through various means. So if you are digitally minded, digitally focused, and want to be able to use this as a way to share what's going on with people outside the church or even inside the church who might need to know what's going on and may not have the app, well, this is a way to do that as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to the MBC app by tapping on the top left-hand side. So that's just a really great resource, and so we put it under the resources page here. Okay, and then if we go down to the bottom and look at the events, so the events section is different from the MBC online calendar in that this just gives you a more list view of the calendar we were just looking at. So this is a little bit more concise in order of in chronological order of the things that are coming up with a very small snapshot. This doesn't go off into the into the next 3 years or anything like that, but you can get an idea as you page through here of the upcoming events. So if you're a little bit more kind of what's going on over the next month, I need to know what's going on at church so I can plan maybe some events or whatever, you can reference this. This might be a little bit cleaner, easier, concise, and as you see, if I tap on one of the options, you can see that all of the information that we would have seen in the big online calendar is still right here in the app. If I scroll down to the Redwood Gospel Mission event, you'll see that it has all the same information we were just looking at, but in a much smaller, concise view. And you also have the ability here, if I tap on the little plus calendar icon you see in the top right-hand side there, if you tap on that, it will add it to the calendar on your mobile device and give you the option to set that in your personal calendar. So this is a really, really great way to use the app and just stay up on what's going on. Notice we typically try, as we post this, to include any contact information in there. If we have any online resources that like sign-up sheets or sign-up forms, things like that might be associated with this event, we would post that in the calendar, in the online calendar as well. So you would just be able to tap on that to link right out and sign up for whatever the event might be. I envision that kind of functionality being very helpful for things like some of the seminars and stuff that we promote in the Church of Vallejo and some of the other places that we do. The Exalting Christ conference is one of them. We might have to do an online sign up in order to do that. So we will endeavor to try to create links for those kinds of things right on the calendar. So you have one place you can go and launch off from there. Okay, so that is really, believe it or not, we've gone through the entire app here in the last 18 minutes. I hope this has been informative and helpful for you, and that you feel like you have a good overview on how to use the app and where to find what you might be looking for in the app. Remember, this is a work in progress, and the idea here is just that we want to be able to use this as a way of getting important information out, timely information out via the notifications, as well as reference information and calendar information and events out to our church body, so we can make sure that everybody's taking full advantage of the resources and ministry opportunities here at Middletown Bible Church. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope it's been informative for you. Feel free to ask me if you have any questions. Ask Earl on a Sunday, or you can email me at ERROLLM at fluidnets, that's F as in Frank, LUIDNETS.com. Thank you, and have a blessed day.